Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to our webinar today on mobile workforce optimization. And as you know, if you've been joining us along the line, this is a series. So this is part 3 of our series. And we had part 1 a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago. This recording is available on demand. So part 1 is reducing the operational costs through digitization of the workflow. Part 2, also available on demand, was increasing productivity and revenue. And so today we're going to bring it together and talk about delivering a better customer experience. So we're hoping with everything that you've learned throughout the series, we're able to, again, deliver a better experience for the customer, since that's kind of what it's all about, is making your customers happy. Before we jump in today, I want to go over a couple of housekeeping items. First of all, this event, like the others, is being recorded. So when the event is over, if you need to leave a few minutes early or you can't stay for the entire thing, don't worry, you will get a link to view that recording at a later date, just like you did with the first 2 parts of the webinar series. We're doing questions and answers at the end of the webinar. So if you've got a question throughout the time here, go ahead and put that in the question widget and just hold on, and hopefully we'll be able to answer all of those questions at the very end. We're going to save 5 or 10 minutes to do so. Also, if you have an immediate concern, like you have a technical issue or something that needs to be addressed immediately, you can't hear the speakers or whatever, go ahead into the chat widget and ask the question there, and we'll try and respond in real time on those kind of issues. And again, just like the other 2 parts of the webinar series, we're going to go for about half an hour today. So try and get you out of here a little bit early. We're going to go for probably 20 minutes in content and then another 5 or 10 minutes in Q&A. So the speakers today, Dave Bazarko and Kyle Dedman, these are 2 of our leading solution engineers here at ActSoft. They've both been with the company for quite a long time, so they are real experts in digitization of workflows and really bringing solutions to the industry and to companies that work in the industry. So they've seen a lot and they got a lot of experience, and just like the last 2 webinars, these guys hopefully are going to bring some good content today that we can all learn something from. And with that, I'm going to turn the time over to Dave and Kyle.
Great, thanks, Ken. So yeah, let's start by talking about the definition of what is digital transformation. So it's basically the process of adapting to digital technology to replace paper or manual processes in order to gain efficiencies and increase production. So we see that this can be done in several ways, but most commonly in these 4 areas here. So for example, for forms, taking things that are being filled out on paper and digitizing them to be filled out on a mobile device or through an application. With timekeeping, you can replace the office time clock and have the ability to have your employees clock in and out from the field, to get rid of those paper timesheets that maybe get turned in at the end of the week and are barely legible. For dispatching, you can remove the need for the employees to come into the office every day to receive their jobs. Instead, they can start their day at their first job, and that's going to not only save time, but labor costs, but also fuel. And lastly, we see a benefit with asset tracking. It's changed to a digital process. You can utilize a GPS-enabled device that you see where all your employees or your field workers are on a live view on a map in near real time.
Thank you, Kyle. So now that Kyle's kind of talked about what that digital transformation is, today we're going to be talking about the benefits of enabling, that digital transformation or mobile workforce management technology. And just kind of a refresher of what mobile workforce management is. It's a category of software and services used to manage employees working outside the company premises. So digitizing the experience for your mobile workforce helps you learn more about their daily operations, and it empowers you to make smarter business decisions backed by data from the field. When we're looking at implementing mobile workforce management solutions, will help reduce expenses, increase productivity, enhance revenue generation, and customer experience. In our first two webinars, as Ken talked about, we talked about reducing expenses, increasing productivity, and revenue generation. So today we'll be, concentrating more on the customer experience and how mobile workforce management can enable you to deliver a better experience to your customers and give you that technological edge over your competitors. So when we look at delivering more accurate job breakdowns and cost, when you provide an accurate estimate and job cost breakdowns through digital process, your customers gain that confidence in your organization and your ability to complete quality work. When you're going out and you're still using paper and stuff like that, there's always maybe that question of whether or not things are getting back to the office. Am I going to get the paperwork that I need in order to sign in a timely manner? And a lot of this helps, this digitizing these processes will help with that. Digital clock-ins and geofence technology allow you to manage the actual time on a job. So it's not just, hey, I'm saying that I was here from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. And you're writing that down on a timesheet, at the end of the week. We're actually taking that physical, this is when I did it, this is when it happened. Allowing employees to clock in and out on different cost codes, let you easily track time spent on different jobs. So if they are moving from job to job to job, that helps the back office, with the billing and office work. It's simplified through these clock-ins because now we can basically assign those hours to not only the job, but actually what they did on the job.
So another thing that a mobile workforce management solution will give you is the ability to fit in last-minute jobs. So we all get those last-minute emergency jobs call in. I need somebody out here immediately. So being able to easily plan out and assign employee agendas ahead of time, utilizing smart dispatching. This is going to reduce your downtime, allow you to plan out your workdays strategically, and this in turn gives you enhanced punctuality, output, and a level of service to your customers. It also allows you to distribute workloads more evenly amongst your employees, and then optimize their schedules for higher efficiency, finding a way to get more jobs in a given day. It's also going to give your customers more accurate service delivery times. And you can use, similar to what you're seeing on the screen there, utilize a graphic-based scheduling. It's going to allow your staff to work more efficiently. Another feature you can get from a solution is, texting and notifications. So customers nowadays, they appreciate receiving the most updated, relevant information possible regarding their job or their work order. Utilizing text and other electronic notifications, it's going to let you give them that information that they're expecting and that they're getting from other solutions that are out there in the marketplace. You can narrow down your service windows. You can, be more accurate, tracking your employees' progress throughout the day. And this in turn is going to let your customers get that more accurate arrival time. And you possibly send notifications upon a change in status of your field representatives to that customer.
When we look at being able to incorporate scanning capabilities for barcodes and QR codes, in order to capture that information from the barcodes and QR codes can make a big impact on your ability to provide top-notch service. Scanning information into a mobile device allows you to better manage available inventory and provide customers with an accurate inventory information. So if there's anything where they're out there and you're working on something and you need parts, well, they could very easily go ahead and potentially scan that part or something like that if that is built into your inventory, and to see if you have that replacement part. Well, by having that accessible right there, that can also say, okay, well, I'm going to need that part. I'll have to reschedule you, or we're going to have to order that part, and they would know that immediately right then and there. So technicians can speed up their jobs and the time on site by scanning rather than writing down information, and scan data enables you to transfer more relevant data to your customers. Digital form replacement of paper forms. Using digital forms to replace cumbersome paper forms in your business has benefits in multiple areas. Apart from the gained efficiencies and cost savings, it also creates impactful benefits for your customers. Customers can receive immediate information about the job via text or email. You can attach relevant information to a digital work orders like pictures, signatures, audio clips, and more. Form data can automatically feed into your customer accounts via APIs. So if you have backend systems that you're using currently, but you want that information from the field to feed in there, we do offer open APIs that can be utilized, and along with our professional services team, which Ken will be talking about later. So we can definitely automate a lot of that information for you. Office staff can perform their functions more quickly, including billing. If that data is coming back from the field that day, well, I can start billing on it that day instead of when it comes in at the end of that day and I need to start billing, the next day or the day after, depending on where you're at within the paperwork that's been coming in. If they have 40, 50 jobs, well, that could take some time. So if it's coming in immediately, I can start working on today's work instead of yesterday's. Public-facing forms allow you to capture job information from your customers before service and speed up the process. You're able to send them a link to pre-fill out a form to give information maybe about the job that you're going to be sending one of your technicians out to, so that you can have that already in place and they already know what it is that they need to do.
So the next one we're going to talk about is accepting mobile payments, being able to save time, increase your revenue, and boost your customer satisfaction, but being able to bill for that installation or repairs via a smartphone or tablet through an application. So collecting a mobile payment, all it needs is a compatible Bluetooth card reader, or if you don't have that, you can simply enter the credit card information manually. But this is going to eliminate the inefficiencies of only being able to process those payments from a single stationary point of sale system. It's also going to provide your customers with a simplified, more versatile payment experience. It's what they're used to nowadays. So, giving it that one-stop shop, so to speak, and saving time with that nearly instant payment processing. You can also track the metrics of that customer satisfaction and retention. So, a mobile workforce management solution can have different analytics and dashboards that can be set up to, viewing that information that was collected from the field and viewing it in graphs, making sure you're meeting your service level agreements to your customers. There's things like driver scorecards that can provide data the way your staff members are operating their assigned work vehicles. Reports can be set up to be run to individuals, either on the fly, or you can set them up on a scheduled basis, maybe to a group of people. And this is going to have you save time, money, resources by using these statistics about your workforce. And it's going to allow you to improve your fuel usage, reduce your vehicle wear and tear, and then monitor time spent on certain tasks.
So practical application, COVID definitely has changed the way a lot of folks are doing business. It's definitely changed the way we look at doing business or plan to do business. So the Employee Safety and Wellness Program was developed in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic. The compilation of pre-made forms can help your business effectively track all relevant information, like wellness screenings, contactless delivery, and contact tracing. That not only helps keep your team safe, but also allows you to provide contact tracing to your customers should the need arise. What is nice is if you are sending folks out on, a particular job or, a number of jobs in a day, and somebody comes back and they're filling out, say, a wellness check every morning, and that morning, they had a temperature, you can now go back and trace back all the customers that they may have visited, so that you can let them know, hey, you may have come in contact with somebody who is potentially, tested positive for COVID-19 or something like that. But it gives you that kind of way of going back and tracing that. An actual use case. So a residential electrical customer of ours uses our wireless forms to document their safety checklist for all their installs. The photo capture capabilities of our wireless forms helps their electricians basically ensure that there's no wires left exposed after the installation is completed. You know, one of the biggest concerns when it comes to any kind of electrical work is, you know, was everything capped off? Was everything done correctly? Because obviously there's a high risk of you know, potential fire and hazard. So we have, with our wireless forms, they're able to kind of check that and make sure that everything was done. Our timekeeping module lets the company reduce unnecessary drive time while on the clock. And as a result, the organization can better serve their customers. So when we look at it, our wireless forms provides the residential company with pre-built templates for their industry, helping them get started with the application quicker. GPS tracking helps them keep their equipment and vehicles more secure overnight at job sites, particularly when where the installations may take a couple of days. And important equipment like wire racks and power generators are kept secure with equipment tracking, helping the company stick to the project timelines.
Great, thanks guys. Okay, so in general, we've been talking about benefits of implementing a mobile workforce or mobile workforce management solution generally, and what kind of benefits that has towards the customer. Our solution is called Mobile Workforce Plus. We have basically capabilities that take care of all of the areas that we talked about, not only today, but the last couple of weeks. The solution is, again, it's an all-in-one solution, Mobile Workforce Plus, including job dispatching, the wireless forms or paperless forms, mobile timekeeping, handset tracking, and intra-company messaging. We didn't really talk about that today, but basically messaging throughout the entire company. And then, of course, ad hoc reporting. Kyle talked about it, about creating these reports that you can track your KPIs and make sure that you're in compliance, and as well as alerts. So Mobile Workforce Plus, again, includes all of these areas. And in addition to the areas that the software includes, if you purchase it through us, Axoft, we also add in professional services. So a team of professionals that can help you get the APIs up and running and get your systems tied together so that you can take information from your existing systems that you may have and import those back and forth into the mobile workforce solution, as well as a customer experience team. So these are people that help make sure that you're getting the best use out of the software and do things like they perform quarterly business reviews, reviewing how you're using the software, seeing if there's other ways that you could maybe implement additional things. There's 24/7 support, which gives you, in case you run into any technical issues, gives you the ability to call in and get that support. All of these, again, are services that are included with the Mobile Workforce Plus all-in-one software application. So I think we're going to open it up for questions right now. We've got a few that have come in. If you still have additional questions, go ahead again and type those into the question chat box, and we will answer those. So I'm just going to go ahead and field the questions myself, and Kyle or Dave, just jump in if one of these questions happens to resonate with you in particular. Let's see here. Okay, so the first question says, can you suggest a way to automatically run calculations for estimates, including things like costs of materials, labor, and taxes, especially with employees in different states?
Sure, I can take this one. So our forms application has what we call custom list, which is basically a database that you can put into our system that can keep track of costs, tax rates, and then as the technician is filling out the form, they hit a drop down and select a certain item. that cost can be brought into the form and automatically do the calculations within it. So we do have a solution to assist with those, different tax rates or different materials costs, utilizing our custom list feature.
Thank you. Next question, can customers respond to text notifications sent through your app? We talked about the text notifications like arrival times and updated service window times, that kind of thing. Can they respond to those?
So right now, we could essentially, when we do those text notifications, we can attach kind of like a form so that if there is anything that they would need to respond to or anything like that, that they could have a link available to where we could have a description field or something like that to say, okay, I want to add additional information, let them know, hey, please come around the back or use the back entrance, or the gate code is to this or something like that. So when those text messages come out, we could have a link to, something so that they could go ahead and respond back to that.
Okay, understood. And then this question is about if no one is in the office. So it says, is there a way to set up automatic work orders to go straight to the field technicians if no one is in the office?
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of depending on how we set it up and depending on where those work orders could potentially be started from, it could be a public form that they could be started from. It could be from a back-end system that, that work order is coming in. We do this a lot, via API, where we bring in that information and have them create the work orders automatically so that somebody doesn't have to sit there and create each one individually. So there's a lot of different ways where we can automate, the creation of work orders for sure.
Looks like I've got a couple more questions here. This one says we have maybe a few hundred paper forms we're currently using. So how could we go about making digital versions of those? And then I'll add to that question, like how long would that take if they've got a couple hundred forms? Is that a huge process?
So we have a few different ways to do it. There's the process of customers actually creating the forms themselves within the form builder. If a couple hundred different forms are being filled out, we would have to take a look at that. Are they broken up in any kind of particular order? Do certain groups get those orders, or fill out those particular forms and stuff like that? As far as building a form, depending on its complexity, could take, 2-3 minutes to maybe 25 minutes to an hour to create. It really kind of depends on the complexity. But the great thing is we offer our professional services, times, and expertise with a lot of this stuff. And, we could potentially get those over to our customer service or our professional services team, to really kind of go through those forms and create those for them.
Thanks. And then it looks like I've got one more question here regarding payments. I think, Kyle, you talked about the payment module, I guess. It says, is it secure to have our field reps taking payments? I worry about having them take a payment rather than having the payment taken through the office.
Yeah, that's definitely a valid question. So we're actually partnered with a company called Swipe to collect the payment, and it is a secure platform. So utilizing that application shouldn't be any different than collecting it through another means. It does have the security around it. So yeah, I mean, I think utilizing a Swipe solution with it, that we're partnered with for the forms would be completely secure.
Yeah, for sure, more secure than like writing on a Post-it note or something, right? Or a credit card number. And looks like that is the last question for today. Thank you everyone for attending. Thanks Kyle and Dave for your content, your insight. And we will go ahead and close the webinar today. So again, thank you for attending. Thank you for your time. And until next time, see you later.